You don't need a fancy mic. You don't need a studio. And you definitely don't need to be someone famous to start a podcast. What you do need, a voice, a message, and a little nudge. This is that nudge. This is the episode that's going to give you the roadmap, the mindset shift, and the momentum you've been waiting for. Today, I brought my friend Ryan, host of Your Average Podcast Dancer, to show you exactly how he went from idea to YouTube without overthinking, without gatekeeping. And here we go. We're going to break down how to name your podcast, what beginner-friendly equipment actually works, what the heck an RSS feed is, and how to get on Spotify and Apple, how to grow without the pressure to be perfect. If you've ever thought, who would listen to me? This is the episode that's going to have your answer. This is your sign. This is your green light. Your let's freaking do this moment. Let's go. This is episode 63, How to Start a Podcast Without Overthinking It, a beginner's guide with Ryan. Welcome to Healing with Haley. I'm your coach, Haley Kirk. On this podcast, we dive into ways to heal, embrace, and truly love our lives. Here's my belief. So much of our suffering comes from what we believe. I'm here to help you understand your mind and question those thoughts to start your healing journey. Ready to get started? Let's go. What is up, podcasters? I have my amazing friend Ryan here. Welcome.
What's up? What's up? Hey, Haley, how are you doing?
So, Ryan is one of the co-hosts of his new podcast, Your Average Dancer podcast, which I
Yep.
am so proud of you guys. I was totally stalking you earlier today, and you guys started, at least on YouTube, October 2nd, 2024.
Wow. Yeah, you had the date. I actually don't even remember the date, so thank you for that. Now I remember.
So it's been like 6 months.
Wow, yeah. And I think we have like 5 episodes out, so we try to do it every
Yeah.
2 weeks, but then there's like some time, like we kind of took off during the holidays, but yeah, it's been great so far. Yeah, 5 episodes out. One is soon to be released in editing, and actually, two are in editing, so yeah, they're coming out for sure. So stay tuned.
Ooh.
Follow us at Your Average Dancer Podcast. We're on Instagram and also Spotify and YouTube. So check us out.
It's so cool. I love it. And this is what I love so much is that, I know Ryan from our dance scene. We're in like the bachata central, what do you say? Central bachata dance scene in the
Hmm.
DMV, which is
Yep.
DC, Maryland, Virginia. And I think it's so cool because it really doesn't take a lot to start a podcast. Like it seems daunting, but it's actually quite easy.
Hmm.
Would you agree?
Yeah. Yeah. It's both sides, right? Yeah. I guess depending on how intense you get, like from what's cool about it is like content wise, it's just honestly a conversation, and that's like the podcast I've loved
Me
and sort of
too.
has inspired me. So. Yeah, from that aspect, but yeah, you can really get into the weeds, I guess, also on like the behind the scenes of like how you want it to look and like you want to make sure the audio. I mean, I've learned a lot just been like forgetting to turn the audio on or forgetting to turn
No.
on the camera. So
No.
after 5 episodes or so, like we've released 5 episodes, but we've probably done like eight or nine, but
Right.
just making mistakes and learning from it and not
Right.
releasing. So things like that.
So, okay, go into the origin story. So why did you guys want to do a podcast of you three together? Why your average dancer? Like tell us the origin story.
So yeah, that's a I love our origin story because even and I'm sure you can ask them and they might have a different one, but I know for me personally, right, like podcasts have really blown up the last couple years. I know like after COVID, I don't believe I watched podcasts, and maybe like a year after COVID or so, I started getting um on the hump for all these famous podcasts. And so um I loved watching them. They're like sort of a way to like I commute a lot. Like I'll visit my family in Pennsylvania and kind of drive back to the Baltimore area a lot, or I would be going dancing. So there's like hour drives or more, and so podcasts are really nice where I can just listen in the car or like clean my house and it like just be like maybe sometimes actively listening, sometimes not, or just maybe eating lunch and like listening and watching the podcast video. So that was sort of the inspiration for me. And I would say I think it's similar to Gene and Greg. Um, but honestly, what happened, right? So I've always kind of had the idea, hey, it'd be cool like if I just interview, like I love having deep talks with my friends, right? Dance or not. Wouldn't it be cool to, yeah, start my own podcast, right? And I think there's a meme out there on like Instagram you always see where it's like when you turn 30, start your own podcast, like check.
I love
Yeah.
that so much. That's so funny.
Yeah. But anyway, so honestly, like I knew of Gene and Greg for, just being in the dance scene, but I was really close to, like our Baltimore friends. And so it wasn't until I became good friends with Janine, right? And Janine's friends with a lot of the DC, Virginia folks. And so um okay, yeah. So I joined Class A Dance Company. Shout out to Class A and Linda Signs. But
Heck
that's where,
yes, the
yeah.
best. So good.
Shout out to Linda. But
We
yeah,
love
so I
you,
joined.
Linda.
Yeah, we love you. So yeah, I joined her team because Janine convinced me, right? And then Gene and Greg were on one of the teams, and so I started to get closer to them through that. And then we went to Central Movement, actually Orlando. So like we just came back from that this year, so it was like 1 year, and that's when I really got to know them. I think a lot
Oh,
of
wow.
yeah, a
So
lot of
this was your second time going to the Orlando
yes,
Festival?
you're
Oh, so,
correct.
so fun.
Yeah, and so what's nice about festivals is like you really get to know like I guess dancers way more. A lot of times just socially like locally, right? You go to the social, the music's really loud. Might like have small talk for like a couple minutes, even if that, right? So you don't really get to truly know someone. So what's nice at a festival is like you go to lunch, you pregame with them. And so that's how I got to know Gene and Greg a little bit more. And so started hanging out more with them. And then maybe July or so, where I think Gene and Greg said something like, "Hey, like I wanted to, or I was thinking of doing a podcast," and I'm like, "Hey, wait, like I was thinking of doing a podcast also, and then I also bought all this equipment in preparation to do I guess my own thing, right?"
Stop it. That's just one of those moments in life where everything just connects all perfectly. That's amazing.
No, yeah. So that was we flirted with the idea, and then we started our own group chat, and hey, think the wheels started turning, and so yeah, and so I guess by October was our first official video we released.
Now
So
I
yeah,
feel
I
like the
think in
creepy stalker.
September, yeah, around September was when we filmed. Probably like I would say estimate it was probably like 1 or 2 weeks before that. Um, and yeah, that's how things got started, and it's been fun. And I think the premise of it was like from Orlando, just having those pregame talks, talking about I guess unsaid things in the dance scene where we know we're aware of it, but might only talk about it at a pregame or with just friends, right? And so that's what we were
Right.
trying to bring to light was like on this podcast, hey, we're gonna just shoot the shit essentially out of, and talk talk dance and just have fun, right, and make each other laugh, and so
Well, that's what I love about your podcast. And I think it's so cool is because it's such a niche, right? Like it is such a targeted audience, right? And it's central bachata, which it could bleed into traditional or salsa, which I saw that you brought in a salsa
yeah
guy.
we brought in Miguel. He was the creator of like the salsa memes, so it was fun to bring him.
That's
Yeah, that's
him.
him. Yeah, that's him. So
Oh my
if that
God.
wasn't clear from
He's
that
so
episode, yeah.
accurate.
But yeah, it's that's what's fun about the podcast so far. It's right. It's like, hey, we're central bachata dancers, um, maybe somewhat fusion, right? And then getting our perspective from looking at salsa dancers and how we think they perceive us, and asking a salsa dancer, hey, what do you think about us, or what do you
Well,
think of
and
bachata in general? So
that's what I thought was so funny is that it's one of your top three. best performing videos on Instagram was Do Salseros Look Down on Bachateros? And it's 17.6 thousand views. So it was
Yeah, yeah.
super viral.
Yeah, I'd like to say it's mainly Gene Gregory, but I'm sure like the heavy lifting was probably Miguel because like Miguel has like maybe like 30,000 followers. But it is cool. Like it is cool to see one of our videos like blow up and um a lot of people comment. And what was funny, it was like I was saying, "Hey, we made it." We have like one we had some person say like something like it wasn't too bad, but it was like a negative comment. I was like, "Hey, we made it. We got to the internet troll level." Yeah.
It's like, yes, I wasn't trolled on too hard.
Yeah,
Yay.
yeah, it
My
wasn't too
heart is
bad.
still
Yeah.
intact. That's amazing. Yeah, I love that. I think it's so niche and it's so fun that I think that it makes the audience members just feel at home. Like everything you guys were talking about, I was like, yes, I can relate with. Yes, yes. Or like or there was parts of me that just wanted to eagerly be in that conversation
Yeah,
and
yeah.
put my
Oh,
two
wow.
cents in.
That's nice to hear. Like it's nice to hear feedback, right? And that
Oh,
feedback's
so
really
much.
nice. Because I think that's what we hope for, right? Like our famous or our favorite podcasts are those types where it's like, hey, there's
Right.
just two chairs and it feels like, hey, we're like just hanging out with our buddies, like talking about bachata or whatever it might be. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love it so much. And I learned that your nickname is Rydep.
Wait, Rye Pep?
Oh,
Rye Pep?
Rypep. I can't read my own handwriting.
No, it's okay. Yeah, just a longer
Rypep. I
line
was
for
like,
the
oh, I didn't know that. I'm like, I've been your friend for years and I don't know your nickname. So I felt a little
No,
embarrassed.
it's okay. I mean, it's sort of a self-proclaimed nickname, honestly, more than people like given to me by my friends. Like I've had like throughout the years, like a lot of people say in high school, like my last name's Pepito. So they'd be like they just call me by my last name. Right. So, but Rye Pep, I think it was like within my family, a lot of my family members will cut their first name and our last name and just make it one. So Rye Pep was sort of uh, self-proclaimed. I wouldn't say people called me that like on the regular, but it was just a way for me to uh, just try to make it kind of be creative in a sense. Yeah.
It sounds like a soda, like
Yeah.
Rypep.
Yeah. Pepsi for sure.
Yes. Okay, so I think what's so cool is that you do mostly video. And a lot of your videos, which I think this is genius, is you have your five or six, you said five published episodes on YouTube.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, so you have your
Check them out.
five, but then you have a ton of videos that are cuts from that
Yeah, the
episode.
reels. Yeah, the reels. Yep.
Yeah, it's genius. So I want to do what you're doing so badly because I primarily do audio
Hmm.
podcasts.
No,
And
yeah.
I've been doing this December will be 2 years for me.
Wow, that's crazy.
I
But yeah, what's
know.
nice with audio, right, is you can drive, you can clean your house, and you can move around, right? And I guess
Yeah.
the video is nice when you can just sit down maybe and like have lunch or something and watch a piece of it or what or what. I guess that's typically how I consume podcasts. But yeah, I can see, yeah, like video is nice where you get you can yeah, you have content, right, for your Instagram or for like social media maybe. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's so awesome. I love it. And I think that people can connect with it a lot better, especially like it's such a nice way to sample the podcast because when you listen to a podcast, it's kind of a big commitment of time, right? Like I get it.
Yeah, yeah,
It
for
could
sure.
be an hour or two or more, right? There's some podcasts that go for hours, like Joe Rogan, he's the GOAT,
Yeah,
right?
3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it's
But
so
it's
easy.
nice, like, because when it's like that chill, like for me, I'll like have lunch, maybe listen to like, maybe it's like 10 or 20 minutes and then do my thing. Or when I'm commuting, I'll turn on a bit of it and hear more of it. But it's not like I can like kind of listen to it in pieces. So,
Right. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So it's I really, really want to do it. So tell me, what were some of the hurdles that you ran into when you were creating your podcast? And I kind of want you to speak in a way as if you're talking to someone who's super interested in starting a video podcast. So like
Oh,
what
yeah.
Because I feel like that's such an interest for a lot of people. A lot of people are interested in, I have a lot to say about this specific topic, or, how do I get started? What do I need? What equipment do I need? What are the best practices? Go.
Sure. No, yeah, I think there is like a barrier to entry, you could call it. Like it's just, I mean, I guess if I had to say it in like two words, it'd be like YouTube University. Where, hey, there's a ton
Yes.
of just if you want to start your podcast, if you want to learn about cameras and how they work, video editing, then I mean, what I did is just watch YouTube, right? And so, what's nice about having a team, I guess, with Your Average Dancer podcast is like we kind of found our roles and what we're interested in within our podcast, right? So, I mean, up in front of the camera, right? It's me, it's Gene and Greg, but behind the camera, it's Maribel. I don't know if you know Maribel and Janine. Of course, you know Janine, but
Yeah, I know
Maribel
Janine.
is
I think I know Maribel.
DC. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She goes by MB also. But yeah, it was cool through the podcast. I met her. She's good friends with Gene and Greg and
Oh,
Janine. So,
nice.
but anyway, so um, yeah, the podcast couldn't operate without any of us, right? So like Gene is our big editor. So like a lot of the reels that are cut and all the editing, like he's our expert there. And then Greg manages
Do
our
you know
social
what? Do you
media.
know what software he uses to edit his videos?
Yeah, he uses CapCut.
I thought so. Okay,
Yeah.
because it's the emoji
Yeah, the emojis he's
um,
using.
fonts, which I love. I
Oh
love
yeah.
emoji font. I think it's so entertaining.
But isn't that cool? Like just the process of podcast. Maybe you wouldn't think of it before, but like, oh, now there's like you have a favorite font, right? Like
Oh
something you
yes,
would.
yes, yeah, it's so true. It's so true.
No, yeah. So, no, the challenge is like I'm more of the equipment guy. So like like before we even became a podcast, I was sort of like learning about cameras and I knew what I wanted. So I guess like what I really liked about some of the YouTube podcasts I watch is just like Haley in 4K. Like I want to see uh my favorite podcasters, in high quality. I think that was pretty cool. So
So tell us
but
what equipment you use.
yeah, so I use a Lumix S5 2X.
Okay.
So we have two main cameras, and so that's how we sort of cut to the different views,
Yeah, I
right?
love that look. It's so
Yeah,
cool.
to do that, you have to record both at the same time, right?
Ugh.
And then you just choose which one to look at. But what's nice is if one accidentally dies or the battery dies, and this is what we've learned through trial and error, is if the battery dies, then like you could just switch to the one, and then you can
Oh,
quickly switch
nice.
the other battery. Um, but yeah, the equipment is like it's something you don't see like during the podcast, but there's a lot of work that goes into making sure the equipment actually works.
Right.
But yeah, so it depends what you want, right? Like if you want 4K video for like a long period of time, then you need a good camera. But if you're fine with like 1080p, like Instagram only can do like 1080p, which is HD. So um, yeah, I mean, if you can find a camera, like you could use your phone too, right? Like you can use your phone, and if you have multiple phones, you could record and then stitch those together. So,
Oh,
but
that's
yeah,
not
I
a
think
bad idea.
the main thing I learned was just that, yeah, if you want different camera angles, you have to have multiple cameras. Yeah.
So I also noticed you guys have, it literally looks like a microphone kind of style camera or a microphone.
Yeah, like the handheld cabled ones.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that is yeah, we just bought it off of Amazon. It was like
Yeah.
it
I've
ranges,
had the
right?
worst luck with microphones. I've purchased three and they just die or just don't work. It's
Oh,
so
darn.
weird.
Yeah, so I think Shure, it like from my research is like the best. Like that's for like the handheld one, I think it was like 35 bucks.
Uh-huh.
Like expect that's more like a bit pricier than like maybe an Amazon one. Like I buy them all on Amazon, but I guess the Amazon branded one might be like 20 bucks, right? So
Mm.
you do see the difference for sure. I mean, we have some Amazon ones though too. So I think the big thing though is um like I have a mixer. So the mixer is what mixes all the audio together and then saves it onto one file. So I think that's mainly what allows for us to have high quality audio. So
Mm, a mixer, and that's a piece of equipment, or is that a software?
yeah, it's a piece of equipment, right? Like so we
Oh,
have like the microphones plugged into it,
yeah,
and yeah, and then all their voices go into it, and then it one port comes out, or it just saves on the machine, and then the machine will have all of the audio mixed together. Yeah.
that's so interesting. I have this box. It's like a red box, and it's similar to what you're saying, but I don't think it's a mixer. I
I
think it's
think
like a,
it's probably a preamp or like does it increase the volume of your
yes.
yeah, so it's probably a like a preamp or like it amplifies your voice and filters
Yeah,
out. It's a
that sounds like it is. Yeah.
yeah, it's probably like a filter and an amplifier. Yeah. So yeah, that should make your uh, voice high quality.
Yeah, but it doesn't work.
Oh
It's
no.
so annoying. We'll have to chat later, but
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
I think that part for because that's so cool that your team, right, has someone like you who loves the equipment stuff because being like a solo podcaster
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, I think
is
you need a like you can do it like and I commend you for it, but like it helps to have others to help you. Yeah.
yeah, that sounds so nice.
Yeah.
I
Because like I
know.
mean like by training I am an engineer, so I kind of like the technology piece of it.
Oh,
So that's sort of fun for me. Like it's like figuring out how these things work. But it's also pressure too, because sometimes like we went to Central Movement Orlando this past or 2 weekends ago or so, and I had to figure out the logistics of hey, like what is the bare minimum equipment we need, and then how am I going to get it there, and how do I make sure it does record? Because like uh, I think there was a brief scare where like oh shoot, what, did it record or did it delete? So you have to be
no. Oh, that's so
yeah.
scary.
Luckily that didn't happen, but yeah, it is scary. Like oh shit, like I'm in charge of the equipment, and if it didn't work and we spent all this money to get there, it'd be pretty bad. So yeah.
Wow. Yeah, there's so many times where I think actually in 2022, when I first moved to Maryland, I was I was podcasting. I had an amazing mic, but at the time I had like a 2013 MacBook Pro. So it was so old.
Oh no.
It wouldn't save. It wouldn't like I would start it, it'd be fine, and then it would just like
Oh, it would crash.
down.
Oh no. Yeah.
The computer was just like, I'm dead. I'm retiring. So that happened to me so many times, and it gets really frustrating because you're finally in that mojo and you're
Yeah, you're vibing and like,
yeah,
hey, it's
and
happened to us where we're like, yeah,
oh
we're killing it. This podcast is going great. Oh shoot, I forgot to hit record.
no.
Yeah. 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 So I feel you. I'm sure every podcaster has felt that experience.
Yes, yeah, it's so relatable. It's the worst. And I feel like that is also, I think, one of the cool parts about podcasting is it really teaches you long suffering and perseverance
Oh yeah.
and how to figure things out. I think it's everything really is figure outable. You just gotta make sure you know the right people, ask the right questions,
Yeah.
use your resources like
Yeah,
YouTube
use your network.
University.
Yeah, you have a lot of friends. Yeah, people who know specific niche things, and yeah, you just have to ask the right
Wink,
questions.
wink, Ryan.
Yeah. No, yeah. No, yeah, I'd be happy to. Because yeah, it was a journey for us too, for sure. And yeah, I learned a lot. But yeah, at the end of the day, right? Like you could have like a 4K video and audio is all working, but like if the content isn't good, right? It's not like authentic or it's just like not great, then yeah, it doesn't matter. So yeah, I think, building up and, you know, always having, yeah, your content being quality, then the rest will, you'll slowly learn that, right? You'll slowly, and that's what's cool to hear about all of like my favorite podcasters where like they've been doing it for like 5 or 10 plus years, right? And like they slowly got better, right? It's not just like right away. Yeah.
It's so true. Yeah, I feel like when people come to my podcast, because I just released episode 58, which has been really
Wow.
exciting. Yes.
Someday, yeah. We strive to
Well,
be like you.
you're doing a whole production. You're making like a movie every time you do a podcast. So kudos to you.
No,
Um,
but I guess I would just say, Haley, like one of my favorite podcasts, like they basically record their Zoom session. So like this, like they just record this on video and then they post this and they're like at least like currently they're like top 10. Yeah.
really? Are you
Yeah.
being for real? I don't have to get all fancy schmancy.
No, no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The
Oh,
content is what matters. So like I mean like this, like they just post this on YouTube. Yeah. Their Zoom session.
you're joking. Yeah. So that was something I was going to talk about my process. Um, that's actually really exciting. What's the name of that podcast, if you don't
It's
mind?
the All In podcast.
The All In podcast. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like Silicon Valley based investors. Like, so they talk about like politics, they talk about investing, they talk about life, and they have like real interesting people that come on. So
Cool.
there's like four of them. And yeah, I like that one in terms of like tech or learning, like hearing about, I guess, financial views and things like that.
Yeah,
But yeah, like their podcast, they just record their Zoom session.
that's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, I've found that for me, I love this quote that complexity is the enemy to execution. And so for me, what has really helped me is at the beginning, right? Like I told you, I was using GarageBand and I was using all
Hmm.
this like fancy stuff. And then I would have to I could not figure out the editing for GarageBand. So then I would take that and I would put it into Podcastle, which is an editing software. So I would download that, put it in there, and then take that file, and then I would upload it to Buzzsprout.
Oh wow.
Buzzsprout is like the RSS feed. So it's like the host. It's like where it hosts all my podcasts. And
Oh, cool, cool, cool.
it's so cool. It takes in all the data. It takes
No,
in,
yeah, that's cool. Like I don't know about RSS feeds, so that's cool. Like see, yeah, that's you learn something. Like
yeah,
everyone has their own little yeah thing. That's cool.
it's awesome. Yeah, yeah. And what's so cool is that it tracks your stats even. So it tells you like which ones were the best performers. It also even helps you to become monetized as a podcast if that's something you're interested in.
Oh
And
yeah, of course.
right, right? Isn't that like the best? So
No.
I learned that one of the qualifiers was you have to have 1,000 downloads. So in like
Oh,
podcast
isn't that what you
world,
posted or recently? Because I shared on my story, um, one of your posts, and I think it was that you got 1,000 downloads or something.
thank you. Well, so
Yeah.
one, it has to be 1,000 downloads within 30 days.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
your podcast has to have had 1,000 downloads. My podcast as a whole has had just now, it's like it's getting close to 2,000.
Oh, cool.
I'm still a baby. I'm still a
I know,
baby.
but it's cool because you literally are doing it yourself, and that's a lot of kudos to you. Clap it up. Yeah, because
Thank
yeah, it is a lot. Like I know,
you.
I guess I take back what I said like about podcast. I guess on the surface it seems easy, and sometimes it might be, but like a lot of work goes into it, and I'm sure you
That's
know
so
that.
much.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so
And I think it's kind of cool figuring out like your why. I think it's really fun. Like anything you're gonna set yourself up to do, why are you doing it? And it sounds like what your guys is why, tell me if I'm wrong. It sounds like it was just like it was an idea you had and it's kind of one of those things that was like kind of bothering you and you're like, I want to do this. This sounds so fun. And then opportunity met happenstance and it just was like this bond of amazing friends that got together and have these amazing talents and they've wanted to do something and they're like, let's do it.
yeah, yeah, exactly that, right? It was sort of, hey, we want to take the many of the conversations or thoughts that we've had throughout the dance scene and bring it to a format that's fun and comfortable and not too serious. Because I think a lot of times, maybe especially salsa, or at least our view of salsa, and then even in bachata, central bachata, right? There's a lot of and for good reason, right? Serious mindsets where it's like, hey, I want to be the best dancer I could be, which is awesome. But sometimes, like for us, it's like that's why we went with like, hey, we're average dancers, just like commenting on what we see and hear in the dance scene, and so we wanted to bring a take of just like, hey, fun and like uh, not taking ourselves too seriously was the
And
vibe we were
that's
going for.
totally the vibe that I get. It's
Oh, cool.
and
Yeah.
I think that's a breath of fresh air because for maybe people who aren't familiar with the dance scene, well, and it makes sense, right? I think like as human beings, we have egoic brains, right? Our ego is always trying to like compete and be like, where do I measure up? Like, oh, I'm better than that person as a dancer, but they're better than me as a dancer, right? It's just like there's
Yeah.
gonna be that, but that's gonna be anywhere you go, pretty much, right? Because we just are all having these ego brains trying to compare and contrast all the time.
Yeah, yeah, because you want to be, you hope you could be, someone who's valued in the dance scene or someone who likes dancing with you, right? And, you want to get better. And yeah, sometimes you can get caught up into that.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
you guys have kind of uh joked around a little bit with ego. You're like, yeah, yeah, like
Yeah, I
we're
think
here for the fun and vibes. Like I just
exactly, exactly.
it's such a light, beautiful take on something that can kind of push people to be extra competitive where the
Yeah,
fun
it could get
kind of gets
toxic.
sucked
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, it could get toxic
Right.
where we wanted to, and at least my approach, some like even as of late, where it's just like, hey, I just want to have fun. Like, I love dancing, but I just want to have fun and hang out with my friends, right? That's sort of
It's
the
so
vibe.
great. It's so refreshing, and that's definitely the vibe that you get. And I loved the the you know who you are video. You know what I'm talking about?
What's hilarious is like after even only 5 episodes, like people will actually come up to me and say, like you're about to reference like the podcast, and I'm like, I don't know if I remember that. I was like, what did I
You're like,
say?
wait, which
But yeah, wait, say it, and then I'm sure I'll remember. Like,
one? Well, now I'm on the spot and now I
oh,
can't
sorry.
remember.
No, but I guess just with Gene, like I know you reference like you know who you are. Okay, now I'm starting to remember. But one of the things on our podcast that like Gene is like known to do is just be like, "Hey, who are you talking about? What's their name?" And, we don't
I
want to
love
call
it.
anybody out, so we're not gonna say anybody's name, but it's just funny.
It's
Oh
so
yeah,
funny.
I think now I remember. I think you know who you are is for I think maybe the topic was something about the like a follow who might have um oh no, I think this is with the DJ, right? It's like standing next to the DJ booth.
Oh, no, this one. I think it's this one. It's where you treat someone based off
Oh.
of their dance level.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think one of the conversations I know we had was just remembering when we were a beginner and then we asked a follow and we're super nervous and it's funny and we might not come across confident. Like there's a lot that goes
Right.
into before you even ask, just how you approach, right? Which kind of gives a
Exactly.
sense for a follow, like, hey, does this guy know what he's doing or not?
Yeah.
But then yeah, getting rejected in like a very like negative way that we would remember
Yes.
is is something we don't forget, I think.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
so funny. And I love how relatable all of your videos are. And there was even one where it was like, what's the worst thing? Like your pet peeve when you're dancing. And then a lot of it was like stinky armpits, bad breath. And I was like, yes, that's the worst thing. Like I love the content. It's so relatable. Okay, Ryan, so something I really want to know is like what is the biggest misconception people have about starting a podcast? What's a piece of advice that you have? And what's one thing that you knew you wish starting before the podcast?
I think the biggest misconception is that it is like super easy. That you know, like parts of it aren't just easy because it's fun, right? Like I think that's a major aspect of it. Like you have to enjoy it. Like you have to enjoy talking to your friends or talking to whoever your guest may be if your podcast has guests, right? Um, and so I feel like that's the biggest misconception. What was the other questions.
Oh, yes. What's like the number one piece of advice that you would give if when they're starting and they're like feeling overwhelmed?
Yeah, I think you just have to have uh you got to make sure you're having fun doing it. I think with anything, right? It's like you have to enjoy doing it because it may get annoying sometimes and you might get stuck on something, right? Right? Like say you filmed a great podcast, but you forgot to hit the record button. So I think
No.
checklists for me are very important for me to help me make sure I have all the things I need. Because we film.
Share your checklist with us.
Um, so right, like I told you, the cameras, cameras, the memory in the cameras. So I have like SD cards. So making sure I bring those mixers, the mixer that I talked to you about, uh, camera stands to like hold the cameras like at whatever angle you want, and then lights. Lights are big, are important.
What kind
Uh,
of
so,
lights do you use?
so again, it's like YouTube University and then Amazon. Amazon's the greatest. Uh, I use Godox. Godox is a brand, and they have like many different options for lights. But
Okay.
yeah, so you buy the light, but you have to make sure you add a diffuser. So I know Janine helped me with that. She was like, "Hey, you didn't buy a diffuser," so that's one of that's what's nice with everyone having different experience with different technologies. So that was helpful. So the diffuser just helps like the light not be as harsh, so it's not just like blinding you.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Oh my God.
But yeah, I think the big thing is yeah, have fun and watch a lot of YouTube, right? Like so get inspiration from podcasts you watch and yeah, learn from people who make videos on cameras, lighting, recording, things like that.
Do you have your own hard drive, like a separate physical hard drive to store all of your stuff, or how do you store your audio or your video?
Yeah, so on the camera, I have two options. It can be SD card or the hard drive. So I have an SSD hard drive that's 2 TB. Actually,
Oh, wow.
I have like one for each camera, so
Whoa.
it can plug into the camera. Yeah, it never uses that much, right? But it helps have a lot of just space, so I don't have to worry. Like I know it'll get recorded. Like
Oh, that's so nice.
like
Yeah.
it's yeah, it's not yeah, it's not like hey, you're recording a great podcast and then like oh shoot, the memory is all gone. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
But
So,
yeah, like I think you could get trapped though. Like so that you like don't feel overwhelmed that you you need to buy all this fancy equipment, right? Like you could get into a rabbit hole where you just buy all the equipment and then you have all nice equipment, like I said, but your podcast content like isn't great, right?
mm-hmm.
So I think, slowly building is important, but yeah, I mean, the equipment can get expensive if like how crazy you get. So I think you can like it isn't like one or zero. You can get there's a wide range of different um but you just have to like do the research and know what you want at the end, right? Like, do you want
Yeah.
4K video for like 3 hours, which is, which will take high quality equipment, or do you want 4K video for 30 minutes or an hour, right? And like, so the equipment you get can like cater to that, right? And like, where are
Oh,
you gonna post, right? So like, Instagram can only do 1080p from my understanding. So
oh
4K
wow.
videos like doesn't matter at much, right? But like the camera you take it on, like the quality of the image might just be better
Mm.
based on the camera you're using, right? So it's not based on resolution, but uh, camera quality. Yeah.
Oh
But yeah,
wow.
there's a lot. There's a rabbit hole. But anyway, have
I
fun.
love hearing it. I love hearing these
Yeah.
details. Well, and it's also nice too, because I think for me, that that tech part was so overwhelming where I was like, you know what?
Yeah, it can get overwhelming.
Yeah, I was just like, I just want to get going. Like, I just want to get started. And so I was like, I'm just gonna use like a camera or not a camera, a microphone and plug it into my laptop and then just like record on Zoom because I have like the
Oh
professional
yeah.
Zoom.
Yeah, you took the right choice for sure. I think people might get, spend 2 years and they just focused on the hardware and they don't have one episode, right? So I think
Right.
I think you did it right. And you could just slowly scale up your equipment as you go, right? Um,
Exactly. Yeah. Um, and it's so funny too, like so like I was saying, oh, I remember I'm on episode 58. But now when I don't know why this is a
so wait,
thing.
is this episode going to be 58 or 59?
This will probably 60, 61.
Oh, okay. I'm in the
Yeah,
queue. All right.
you're in the queue. I'm so grateful I have a queue because when I was sick, a few weeks ago, I was able to still be able
Yeah,
pushing
push them
content
out. Okay.
because I had my voice was just shot and like I'm
Oh, wow.
still coughing. I'm like literally muting myself on when I have to cough on this right here podcast. But yeah, the hustle, the grind. Anyway, so yeah, so I've just recently had episode 58 released, but people, I don't know if you have experienced this, but they'll go back all the way to episode number one. And I'm like, no, like I've learned so much since then. Like,
No, but that's fun. That's fun where you started early and then like that's what's cool about podcasts, right? Is um you post all your videos and they're still up. So like
yeah.
once you hit viral, Haley, and like everyone's watching, they'll go back and literally watch all your episodes, right? I know like
Oh,
some of my favorite podcasts, right? Like I'll just look for someone that I wanted to hear, like hear
yeah.
him interview, or whoever interview, and yeah, I'll go back and see, right? So
It's just
I
it's like
it
if
might
I
be
could
cringe.
explain
It's
it in
like
a dancer way, it's like watching your very first bachata dance
yeah,
video. It's so painful. It's like I'm not that dancer anymore. Like
no,
I'm
yeah,
I'm
I feel
evolved.
you.
Oh
But
man.
it makes you human, right? It shows you like, hey,
Yeah,
like look how far I've come, right?
that's
That's how I see it.
true. Thanks, Ryan. I just want to be awesome all the time, okay? Jeez.
I know. And I feel like that's the like a common like view that dancers have, right? They want to be the greatest like right away. When it's a process, right?
It is. It so is. That's what I love when I see, oh, it's the Israeli couple, Tom and
Daniel and Tom. Yeah,
who?
Daniel and Tom.
I love them. I'm
Yeah,
obsessed with them
yeah.
because they always share their beginner videos. And I'm like, this is so cool. Like you can see their evolution as dancers. But it was so funny because my number one performing podcast is my number one podcast episode because
Ah.
people always go to my number. And I'm like, no, please go to the most recent one. It's the best one. And then I had someone tell me, they're like, I think it's your third or fourth episode, but it sounds like you're next to someone who's snoring. And I was mortified. I was like, stop. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, it's my dog. My dog was like underneath me
Oh.
while I was recording, and you hear like, and she was a pug, right? So it's like
Yeah, that's funny.
super snotty. And I'm like, this is so unprofessional. It's hilarious.
No, but that's like some of the funny things like looking back where it's just like, hey, yeah, you know, like hey, captures everything in the
It
background.
did. Yeah, it did. Oh, geez. So funny. Um, so what are your like, are you guys liking the progress so far of your podcast? Like, do you like the momentum? Do you wish it was faster? And what are your goals for the future?
No, yeah, I think like I played sports in high school, so it's nice to have like a positive feedback loop, even with dance, right? Where it's like you work hard in the summer and then like you get to play the games and you get positive feedback if you like won, right? Or so with the podcast so far with 5 episodes and then getting to go to Central Movement Orlando and recording there, um, it's been nice to get the positive feedback of things like Haley, like you coming to me and saying like, "Hey, I really like your podcast. It's fun." And you like what we're striving for the podcast to be, it matches what you it you said it like as a listener, it aligns with what we were hoping for. So that gives us some positivity and confidence to keep on going, right? And I think the big thing is like, hey, we're still having fun doing it. They're trying to be creative, trying to think of different ideas to like market our podcast is fun. Yeah, it's just a fun process. So I think as long as that keeps going, I think we looked up something where it's like the first like like something like 80% of the podcasts that start like don't make it to like 3 episodes and then it's like the 1% or something and it's around these numbers, but it's like uh, only 1% of the podcasts that start make it to episode 21. And
Right.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, we're hoping to get like you, Haley, where we can be consistent and hey, get to 58 to like 60, right? Um, and that's what I've sort of seen similar to, and I guess as I get older, right? Like I'm 30 years old, like as of last October, it's you realize like any subject, right? Whether it's like work or dance or starting a podcast or our Bayside Bachata event in Baltimore, um, like it's all about consistency. Like if you can be consistent, like that's how you last, right? And you become, super popular social event or super popular podcast, right? It's just to keep going. It's just like just try to get better and better every time. And so that's what I've seen.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we hope for. So we're hoping to we got to 3 episodes. So we're trying to get to 21 and still have fun. Yeah, doing it. So
That's so cool. I love that. And the other day I saw a really interesting image where it was what people think consistency looks like. And it's just like a habit of drinking water every day, like X amount of water. So it's like all these glasses of water Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right below the glasses. And it's like a full glass, right? Like every day you're drinking the full glass. And it's like Sunday is like a tiny bit. And then Monday is a chunk. And it's just like all these variables of how much water that person drank. And I'm like, that is consistency because it's not that you're doing it perfectly or even that you're hitting the mark. It's like, it's just these little touches, right? It's like these little taps. Okay, so if I said I was going to do something this day, did I do it? Kind of thing. And did I, and it doesn't even matter the quality. It's just getting it done. Like, what does it need? And a lot of it is B minus work. That's been what helps me so much is like, and honestly, ChatGPT has been a huge savior for me
hmm.
because I don't have a cool posse like Ryan who has all these amazing people on his side. I love that for you.
No, but yeah, you're using AI. You're making your life more efficient, right? Like you're using
Yes.
technology to your advantage. That's awesome.
Yeah. And so, like, coming up with a podcast title, coming up with a podcast description, coming up with a podcast outline, like I did for our interview. Like, I've been so grateful for AI tools and they're free.
Yeah,
And
right.
it's been a game changer. And a lot of times it actually has a memory and it starts to know your personality and it
Yeah, yeah.
offers, it's so cool. I'm like, yes, this is the best thing ever. So I'm always like, make it simple, make it easier. Like, are there ways that you can find to make it simple, more simple your process?
Yeah, how to streamline your process, right? Yeah, so that's
Well, I'm
that's
asking you, are there ways in like your own podcast right now that you could make it easier?
no, yeah, I'm sure there could be. I know Gene has used ChatGPT, to as an aid for real titles and things like that. And yeah, just like physically, right? Equipment wise, yeah, trying to figure out like, hey, what do we actually need? For example, for because we record at Gene's apartment in Tyson's, and it's a long drive for me, so I have to drive like an hour. So like, hey, what do I actually like? What's the bare minimum we need? And then like, okay, I carry that to his apartment. And how do I make this efficient? And Amazon's great, right? Like they have like a little dolly you can buy. So I just have like a box. And so I just put all my stuff in, put a lid on it, and then use the dolly to like put in my car. And then when I get there, I can just roll it, right? Where before I was like literally carrying it, and it's like I'll probably break my
Oh
back. So
no.
trying to
Yeah.
like little things like that you don't see is like, hey, we're trying to streamline our process that way, right? Yeah.
And it helps so much. Yeah, I really think that again, complexity is the enemy of execution. Just make it super easy if you're not techie like Ryan or
No,
like
yeah, no,
super
but yeah, like
pro.
it sometimes can be, I think 100% agree with you. And I think I forget what they call it, but in engineering or in engineering it's called like KISS is it's the acronym is KISS, like keep it simple, stupid.
I love Kiss.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
keep it simple, stupid. Yes.
So yeah, like to make it, yeah, yeah, I completely agree with you. Yeah, simplify, simplify as much as you can. Yeah.
Yeah. So for your goals for your podcast, are you guys wanting to eventually like be able to be monetized
Oh, of
and
course. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the like when we started, we only have 5 episodes, maybe like 400 followers or so. But our goal was like, hey, wouldn't it be cool, like bare minimum, if we got to go to like a festival and like do our podcast and like they'd bring us there. And so what was pretty cool, right? Was so like Josiah, he reached out to me and he was like, "Hey, I love your podcast. Like, hey, would you guys want to basically give us free tickets to go down there and do the podcast or
oh,
do the
when you said, yeah, we just went to Central Movement. Oh, you guys
yeah,
didn't go just to like
no.
have fun. It was to kind of promote, to kind of be a promoter.
Yeah, because we weren't planning to go. To we went last year and we were like, "Hey, we had a lot of fun." But we were like it was just wasn't on our radar. Hey, like we'll save and just wait for the next one, right? Like we were just gonna we didn't have anything planned that weekend, right? And then Josiah out of the blue reached out, and it's not like we have a crazy following, like, oh, we're gonna help, say, Central Movement because he's inviting us. But yeah, he's seen the pod like us post about the podcast, and he thought that was cool and thought it would be, I think in some sense, like maybe very small, beneficial for SM, right, to go down there. And so like hey we were thrilled like hey we're like hey this is what we thought would be pretty cool, right? So we still had to pay for all the normal things like flight and hotel, but we thought it was just an opportunity that we couldn't pass up. So it was fun, and we interviewed Josiah, so that'll be posted soon, and it was just a lot of fun, right? It was
That's
uh
so cool.
like we were able to work, like get the content we wanted to, but also have fun at the same time. So that was a great experience. So hopefully, we'll get to do that in the future more. So
And let me ask you this. This is what I think is so fun about just pursuing anything that is interests you, is that probably wasn't a goal, but you're really interested in that kind of venue of where this podcast could take you.
yeah, for sure, right? And I think the ideal thing is, hey, festivals we want to go to, and like, hey, if they give us a discounted ticket, or just hey, it's good for spreading the word out. Like, hey, we'd love to do the podcast there, and that was like a lot of work for me logistically. Like I think every member, it was they had to do a lot of work, but in terms of equipment, I had to figure out how am I getting it was like, oh great, like we can go there, we have a ticket, but how the heck am I gonna get like lights and all my equipment down there? So we were able to fit it all in checked luggage, but that
Oh,
was
nice.
that work was on me to figure that out. But now that we've done it, I did the hard part now, and now when we have like say we have a future opportunity, I'm ready to go. Yeah.
That's amazing. Right now as a podcast team, are you guys wanting, is that now a new goal that wasn't before? Like to go to maybe other countries and go to big festivals in Spain or like
That'd be cool. Yeah.
interview big top line artists? Like has the goals changed?
No, yeah, I think that was one thing we didn't get to do at Central Movement Orlando was interview like a big artist, but I think that'd be one of our goals. We haven't explicitly said that, but like we said, if that somehow comes into fruition, we have some questions ready, right? But yeah, I think our at least explicitly within the group, we just talked about like, hey, let's get to episode 21, right?
I love it.
And any opportunity that comes our way, like, hey, we're happy to figure out if we can do it or not, right?
That's amazing. I'm so proud of you guys. Like, I love seeing people get together and work on being creators. I feel like,
Yeah, I think that's a big that's what like I'm so inspired from all these YouTubers, right, and podcasters, and it's cool that we live uh in a day today where hey, we can just set up our own podcast and have a voice and have our thoughts or interesting thoughts out there on the internet. So
yeah,
yeah.
I think as human beings, I've really delved into this kind of dichotomy of consumerism and creation. And I think that as human beings, we're meant to be creators. I don't think that we're meant to be consumers at the level that we are. And I feel like when we are in our creation mode, that's when we're in our peak states, right? Like it's fun, it's you feel like you're a part of something, you feel like you're contributing. Like those are like the highest operating emotions us as humans can experience. And I just think it's inspiring.
No, yeah, I completely agree. Like I guess yeah, I do miss that where it's like, hey, you work hard, maybe you fail, but you keep going, work, get better, and then hey, you have some positive feedback where it's like, hey, it worked out. Like, hey, someone like I come on to this podcast and uh you say that the vibe that we're going for is like what you're feeling, and it's like, oh, that's awesome, right? And yeah, I think I've always been someone who like, hey, I want to play the game. I don't want to just maybe just watch, right? Like I enjoy watching, like that's fun, but it'd be
Yeah.
cool to like, hey, to play, like to actually create. So, and
Oh,
try and like, and try and fail and slowly get better. I think that's awesome.
yes. Oh, Ryan, this is so cool. Well, I hope you and your podcast team kill it. I love the content you guys put out there. Where can people find you? What are your new projects? You mentioned Bayside Bachata. So how can people find you? Give us all the deets.
Yeah, so you can follow me at my dancer page at ridepep_dance. And you can follow our podcast at Your Average Dancer Podcast on Instagram. We're also on Spotify and YouTube. And then we have our Baltimore social every month, Bayside Bachata, with our Baltimore friends. So we're actually having one this Sunday, this March. So if this gets released in time, yeah, come out Sunday on March. But you can always follow that account on Instagram as well, Bayside Bachata. We have a pop-up monthly event every month in Baltimore. So yeah, that's where you can find me. And yeah, this was fun, Haley. Happy to do this again sometime. And so this was great. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, I love bringing people onto the podcast that inspire me and that are teaching me things and just leaders in the community. And I think that you and Jean and Greg and Janine and Maribel are killing it. And I think it's such a cool production. And yeah, way to go. Way to kill it. I love watching you guys.
Yeah, and I guess I'll just say this because sometimes I feel like I see it in the dance scene where it's like sometimes the view is like, hey, it's a closed pie. Like there's only it's a zero-sum game, and it's just hey, there can only be this many players. Where like I feel like bachata anyway, it's so niche that it's like hey, there's so many days through the week, and there's actually not that many in every city. Like a promoter, like someone throwing events consistently, right? So I see that in the podcast too, where it's like, hey, there's room for everybody, right? And so it shouldn't be like, oh, like, I'm gonna keep my knowledge like closed sourced or, I don't want to share with anybody because I don't want to see anybody succeed. But like to me, it's like, hey, I want to see my friends succeed. I want to see you succeed, Haley. Like, hey, you
Oh,
inspire us too. 58 videos, we hope to get that far. So
oh, thank you, Ryan. You are the best. This was
yeah.
awesome. This was so good. All right, before you go, I need you to hear this. You don't need to keep white knuckling your way through life. You don't need to figure it out on your own. You deserve support. You deserve strategy. You deserve to feel like yourself again. And that's exactly why I'm offering you a complimentary free 30-minute coaching session. No strings, no pressure, just real conversation, real breakthroughs, and a real chance to feel lighter, clearer, and way more in control. If you've been listening and nodding your head thinking, oh, yes, that's me, then this is the moment to stop thinking and start doing. Click the link in the show notes and schedule your free session right now. Right now, not later, not when you have time, right this moment, because you're worth showing up for you. And if you have any questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram at healing_with_Haley. I am here for you, but don't overthink it. What you're going to do in this free session is we're going to unpack any negative belief systems, build momentum with clear strategies, leave you feeling lighter, calmer, more confident, more grounded. These are the emotions you're going to feel after a session with me. Don't overthink it. The life you want starts with one decision. This could be the one thing that changes everything for you this year. Let's do this.